Hi, welcome to Slow Fashion Mom. I'm Rachel and today I'll be sharing some sustainable fashion podcasts with you. This is the third video in my Slow Fashion Spotlight series where I am highlighting people doing great things in the slow fashion space. I personally love listening to podcasts. I like to listen every day, especially when I'm doing something I don't love, like cleaning or doing the dishes. If I've got a really great podcast on, it doesn't feel like a chore. It's enjoyable. And I'm really excited that there's so many podcasts dedicated to sustainable fashion, and I'll be sharing 5 with you today. The first podcast I want to share is called Conscious Chatter by Kestrel Jenkins. I first heard of this podcast over on my Green Closets YouTube channel. Erin recommended that probably over a year ago. I've been listening ever since. It's amazing. What I love about this one is that Kestrel really loves to get the story behind everything. So she really goes into where people came from and what shaped their experience to lead them where they are today. She's interviewed a wide range of people from really big companies like Patagonia and Timberland and Toad & Co. to really small companies, to style makers, to jewelry designers and filmmakers. Each episode is really interesting, and I think the best part is that she is really focused on positive change. So she leaves off every episode with asking, what can we do in our day-to-day lives to make a positive change in this industry? And I absolutely love that because it really leaves you with something you can do in your day-to-day life to make a difference. The second podcast I want to mention is Wardrobe Crisis by Claire Press. She is also a fashion journalist and she's an author by a book of the same name. If you watch my channel, you know I absolutely love this one. I've done a whole video about her book and her podcast. I'll link that up above. If you're new, this is a really amazing podcast to listen to. I find Claire has a different take on things. Her podcast is really refreshing. She also interviews a wide variety of people, from artists, designers, political activists, environmental activists. She's interviewed a whole lot of different really inspirational style makers and of course designers. So definitely check out Wardrobe Crisis. Third podcast I want to mention is The Spirit of 608 by Lorraine Sanders. This one is interesting because it focuses on the intersection between fashion, entrepreneurship, sustainability, and tech. So Lorraine interviews business owners that kind of fit into all those areas. There's so many interesting businesses and so much going on in that area. She also really focuses on female entrepreneurs, which is especially inspiring. So I think if you own your own business or you're thinking of starting your own business, this would be an amazing podcast for you to listen to. So many really inspiring stories of women doing great things in business. The fourth podcast I want to mention is the Fashion Revolution podcast. This one is done also by fashion journalist Tasman Blanchard, and this podcast is a 3-part series called Who Made My Clothes, and it really goes into the workers behind our clothing. They specifically based this podcast on a year-long project called the Garment Worker Diaries, where they studied garment workers from Bangladesh, Cambodia, and India, and they really looked into their daily lives and their wages. She speaks to all kinds of people: researchers, supply chain workers, politicians, activists, and of course garment workers. I think this podcast is really great for anyone new to sustainable fashion and you want to know more, you want to go further into this and look into who made your clothes. I think this is the one for you. It goes into all the environmental and social problems of the fashion industry, but it also leaves you at the end with practical actions you can do to make a positive difference. And the last podcast I want to mention today is Business with Purpose by Molly Stillman. Molly is a blogger at stillbeingmolly.com, and she blogs about fair trade and ethical fashion and lifestyle. I just recently found this podcast on Instagram, but I'm absolutely loving it. It's really positive and inspiring stories of businesses and people doing good. There are interviews with mission-driven brands, small community nonprofits, individuals, small clothing companies. As I said, I've only listened to 4 or 5 episodes, but I really love this one. If you're looking to find really positive stories of businesses doing good, then definitely check this one out. So that's it for today. I just wanted to share with you these 5 really great podcasts covering sustainable and ethical fashion and conscious living. I'm so excited that there's so many podcasts covering these topics, and I'd love to know if there's more. If you guys know of any podcasts I should be listening to, please leave me a comment down below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.